Rene Latchman's Marlins return home. They won 4 of 6 on the road, and they're now a respectable .500. With perhaps the club's biggest move this season, young Edgar Renteria now at shortstop. He's playing with confidence and seems at home in South Florida. Tonight, John Burkett will be on the mound looking for win number 4. And he'll face Ray Lankford, whose 11 home runs leads the Cardinals. They open a 3-game series at Joe Robbie Stadium next on Sunshine Network. Florida Marlins baseball. Live from Joe Robbie Stadium in Miami. Major League Baseball. The Cardinals in town for the first of 3 against the Florida Marlins. A warm evening with a chance of showers. Yeah, summer's here, I guess. Hello again, everybody. Jay Randolph along with Gary Carter. Good to have you with us on Sunshine. Good to be home. It was a good road trip, and of course our previous homestand was outstanding.
9-1 on that homestand, and then 4-2 on the road. So that would be nice, coming home now to 11 games in 13 days, Jay, and if they can play like they did in the last homestand, then hopefully it'd be great success.
One of the key factors has been the play of Terry Pendleton.
He's starting to get hot, and everybody kind of figured that that's what was going to happen. On the road trip, hit 400, 8 for 20, had some big key hits, especially with runners in scoring position.
The Cardinals have had a man who has been very hot lately, John Mabry.
This guy has hit in 27 of 30 games, a .409 average, and now has his present-day average at .344. So he's tearing it up, and he has a cycle as well on the year, the 15th Cardinal in their history that has accomplished that feat.
The pitching pairing for the action here in Game 1 tonight. Mike Morgan getting the call for the St. Louis Cardinals. He's coming off shoulder surgery and is just getting his second start of this season. John Burkett will go to the mound for the Marlins, and that sets the scene.
Florida Marlins baseball on Sunshine is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, just plain smart. By Office Depot, taking care of business for companies of every size, everywhere, every day. By Great Western Bank's family of companies, now backed by over $44 million in assets. By Gatorade Thirst Quencher, for some, recess never ends. Life's a sport, drink it up. By Cooper Tires, for one of the best tires on the road today, by quality American-made Cooper Tires. And by Miller Lite. When you've got the great taste of an ice-cold Miller Lite, life is good.
When you're to Joe Robbie Stadium, as the Cardinals and the Marlins are getting set for action. And, of course, we'll update you throughout the evening on the activities at the Miami Arena. And right now, the Marlins taking the field. Panthers and the Penguins playing Game 3 of the Stanley Cup playoffs tonight. And here's the starting lineup, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Sweeney will lead it off. He's followed by Ozzie Smith, Jordan and Langford. Gaetti's at third, Mabry at first, Pagnozzi catches, Aliseia's at second, and Morgan is the pitcher.
And the defense for the Marlins has Conine, White, Sheffield in the outfield. Pendleton is back at third, Renteria at short, Graybeck is at second, Colburn at first, Charles Johnson does the catching, and John Burkett on the mound. Johnny Burkett looking for his 4th win. He's 3-5 on the year with a 4.36 ERA. John Burkett in 66 innings of work has struck out 49 guys and just 18 base on balls. So if the Marlins can play anywhere near they did last homestand, this could be a very interesting one.
Certainly would be nice to make some hay on this long home stand. Saw John Burkett looking up at the sky. We do have a chance of showers here this evening. It's 77 degrees, cooled off a little bit with a shower this afternoon. Scattered showers in the forecast. Light winds out of the east. The plate umpire tonight is Mark Barron. He's joined by Wally Bell, Tom Hallion, and Jerry Crawford. And the news from the front office is brought to you by Office Depot. Ozzie Smith at shortstop. Tonight, 2,504th game, passing Babe Ruth for 34th on the all-time list.
Oh, that's some pretty good company.
The Wizard.
Passing.
Yeah, there he is, Ozzie Smith. Mark Sweeney to lead it off. Sweeney batting .309. He's got 9 RBIs, a couple of home runs. Cardinals 20 and 26. First pitch of the game. Outside for a ball. Cardinals are 11 and 14 on the road, and they also have an 11 and 14 record against the East.
Well, they're just coming off a 3-game sweep in Houston. They have played very well on this current road trip, and it's their first sweep in Houston since 1987. Take a look at new Cardinals skipper Tony La Russa, longtime manager in the American League.
And Rene Latchman, of course, a longtime confidant and worker with La Russa over in the American League. 2 balls and a strike to Sweeney. He's 26 years old, acquired in a trade from the Angels July 7th of '95. In for a strike. There's Latch.
I don't think he ever moves from that spot.
That is his spot. That's his territory down there in the dugout. And that one's low, and the walk to start the game to Sweeney. Sweeney batting .667 lifetime against Burkett. He had a home run against Burkett, of course, when they were in here earlier.
Well, Sweeney got the opportunity to play when Brian Jordan was injured, and now Ronnie Gant has been injured, and he's on the disabled list presently, so Sweeney getting an opportunity to play.
Ozzie stands in. Strike at the letters. Ozzie lifetime batting .303 against John Burkett. The bunt attempt is missed. 0-2.
Pendleton is in front of the bag at third, and Colburn holding Sweeney on at first as we take a look at the third base coach.
It's Tommy Reynolds down there.
And over at first is Dave McKay, who came along with Tony La Russa.
A little high. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
See, when you get named skipper, you can bring as many coaches as you want that has been a part of your staff for some years. McKay and Dave Duncan, the pitching coach now.
There's McKay. And the throw over. Sweeney is back.
Ozzie Smith can do so many things with the bat. He can bunt, but then he can hit and run. He just makes great contact. Very seldom does he strike out.
And this goes out to Graybeck, and they turn the double play. Spacing was a little problem at second there for a moment, but they got the job done, and the double play is number 64 on the season.
When you try to turn a double play, it doesn't matter who your double play combo is, as Graybeck flips to Renteria. Renteria's concentration right on and fires on to get Smith at first base.
Graybeck tonight at second, and young Edgar Renteria, 20 years old, although his mother says he's 19. I read that in the paper.
Okay. Well, he's still he's trying to do what Alejandro Pena did when he came to spring training. Add an extra year.
Add that extra year.
Well, why not?
Sure. Brian Jordan is at the plate.
So that means he actually signed with the Marlins when he was 15.
And that's against the law.
That's exact. Well, Joe Nuxall did it.
Well,
he pitched in the big league. But that was when it wasn't allowed.
Didn't have a deal.
Okay.
The Marlins have got the birth certificate. I'm sure. Jordan at the plate. 2 balls and a strike. Jordan's 29 years old, from Baltimore, Maryland. The Cardinals traded away Mark Whitten to make room for him. A little blooper out behind second. Graybeck is there. After a half inning of play here at Joe Robbie Stadium, there is no score. Head to the bottom of the first inning. The Marlins home for 11 games here. First 3 against the Cardinals. The starting lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. White, Renteria, Colburn, and Sheffield. And it's Conine, Pendleton, Johnson, Graybeck's at second, Burkett doing the pitching.
And the defense for the Cardinals, Sweeney, Langford, Jordan in the outfield. Good speed there. Gaetti, the veteran, as well as Ozzie Smith, the longtime Gold Glover at short. Alicea's at second. John Mabry's at first. Tom Pagnozzi, also a Gold Glover, behind the plate. And Mike Morgan, the veteran, is on the hill for Tony La Russa's Cards.
Devon White will lead off, the switch hitter, batting .269. A little low.
There's the rest of Mike Morgan's numbers. This is just his second start of the year, coming off shoulder surgery. He is 102 and 144 lifetime with a 3.98 ERA.
He told Mike Shannon recently he would like to be known as the best pitcher in baseball not to have a winning record.
Okay, well, I think he could very well have that distinction.
Well, you know, it's interesting, and it's always wonderful to have you alongside, because you have firsthand knowledge of this fella. You caught him when you were with the Dodgers.
Absolutely. In 1991, that was his actual first winning season in the major leagues. Now, keep in mind, Mike Morgan came right out of high school and went right to the big leagues with the Oakland A's.
That one's wide, a full count. He's from California, Tulare, California, I believe. Tulare, California.
Okay. But Mike Morgan does have all the pitches, sinking fastball, slider, and he gets Devon White to fly to Langford in center, and that's out number 1.
That's the way we get underway here tonight.
But Mike Morgan, he can do a lot of things with the baseball. He can sink it, he can run it, he can throw a curveball, throw off of the curveball, a little change of pace with that, got a little slider.
Of course, I mentioned he's coming off the arthroscopic surgery, and talking with the Cardinal broadcasters, he feels like he's had a whole new lease on life. He said, I feel like I have a new arm.
Well, that's a beautiful thing.
Here's the youngster at the plate, Edgar Renteria.
How come I can't do that with my knees?
Well, it's just the way it is, I guess.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Renteria's batting .364. Edgar is center stage these days. Here's one into center field. Langford coming hard. He got there.
Ray Langford, a multi-dimensional player as well. He does have good speed, possesses a pretty good strong arm, and also he's a very good offensive player. Has hit for a pretty high average and has one of the longest home runs hit this year. And you see how the speed helps in all aspects of the game.
Colburn stands in. A strike at the knees. Colburn batting .287. He's got 19 RBIs, 5 home runs in 19 games since moving to the 3rd spot in the order. The Marlins are 13-6, and Colburn is batting over .300 at .304. Against the Cardinals, .333 this season. Swing and a miss. Down he goes. So the Marlins go down 1-2-3. We've played an inning here at JRS, and the game is scoreless. Tonight's presentation of Marlins baseball on Sunshine Network brought to you in part by your South Florida Ford dealers. Ray Langford steps in. Batting .284. Outside for a ball to Langford, who is a .333 lifetime hitter against John Burkett. Langford launched the longest home run in the majors this season and the longest ever at Coors Field on Sunday, 483 feet.
Yeah, it's the longest recorded by MCI since the company began tracking the home run distances about, I think it's 3 years ago.
Who's surprised, not me, that it was hit in Colorado.
Oh, yeah, that really surprised the heck out of me.
I'm sure. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Although Incaviglia hit one here,
yes,
482 feet.
And he got him. Langford thought that ball was low and inside, but it is the first strikeout for Burkett.
Like Burkett, like Mike Morgan, you cannot give up on this moving fastball. It looks as though Langford does, and the pitch just happened to catch that inside corner. Burkett is concentration. He looks up at the end, fires, and picks up a big strikeout.
Gaetti is batting .248. He has 8 RBIs, 4 home runs. Two balls and no strikes to Gaetti, who went 3 for 5 with a run scored Monday night at Houston, and he blasted his 4th homer last Saturday at Colorado.
Imagine that, Colorado again. How about Larry Walker? Larry Walker hit 6 consecutive extra base hits. A couple of home runs, a couple of triples, a couple of doubles. Gaetti protecting that ankle as he takes strike 1. Running the count now to 3-1.
And he had a broken left toe, of course, that caused him some trouble. Hot shot to Pendleton. TP's long throw is right on target, 2 away.
Well, Scott Cooper was one of their third basemen last year, and Gaetti having a monstrous year. Now that's the reason why he's a Cardinal.
The Health South Diamond Dash, a gem of a deal for all the youngsters 12 and under. Report to section 141, 142 with a parent or guardian. 135. The Marlins and the Cardinals get together Sunday. Practice your home run trot when you run the bases right here at Joe Robbie Stadium. John Mabry, 344 his batting average. He's been on a tear, as we talked about at the beginning of the broadcast. 22 RBIs, the 4 home runs, 333 lifetime against Burkett.
He's in the midst of a 10-game hitting streak, 20 for 40, a 500 average. His average presently at 344. He has really been on fire.
On this road trip, he is 18 for 37, batting .486, with 3 home runs, the 11 RBIs, and 9 runs scored. Two balls and a strike. Pendleton charges, bare hands, throws. Great play by Pendleton. He cuts down Mabry. Scoreless game. We'll be back. Terry Pendleton, who just made an outstanding play. Scoreless game.
Well, Mabry tried to fight off the ball that was inside, and Pendleton really had only one play. That was to barehand it, fire on to Colburn, and got Mabry by a step.
Gary Sheffield stands in. 281 is the average. 29 RBIs, 14 home runs. He's also had 36 walks. Ripped into the seats.
Now, Sheffield wasn't wearing that elbow guard, Jay, when we were in Cincinnati. He did when he got hit 3 consecutive times on that elbow. Wondering if that's acting up again.
Somebody all right over there, I think.
I think she got hit in the rib.
Yeah. That's in for a strike, 0-2. Sheffield batting right at the 300 mark over the last week. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Did he hold up? No. Strikeout. Couldn't get the bat back. Strikeout number 2 for Mike Morgan. This presentation of Marlins baseball on Sunshine Network is brought to you by Aflac, insuring over 38 million people worldwide.
Last pitch, the breaking ball. Sheffield not able to hold up. And there again, the veteran pitcher like Morgan able to come up with a strikeout. Gaetti has made a fine play to get Conine.
Boy, it's a dandy play. Gaetti going to his left on a hot shot off the bat of Conine. Conine is out 5-3.
A lot of people wrote Gaetti off a few years ago when he went to California, was having some problems with his eyes, and yet Gaetti had a big year last year in Kansas City, and right there he comes up with a big play.
Switch hitting Terry Pendleton. He's got his average up to 249, has 25 RBIs, 4 home runs. A strike at the letters to Pendleton, who has hit .333 over the last 16 games. On the road trip, he batted .364. Inside, almost hit him. He got out of there in time.
Well, we couldn't have asked for any better weather in Chicago or Cincinnati, considering the way that the beginning of the season started in the Northeast and all the rain and all the bad weather. Marlins have been very fortunate, and I know that there is some possible showers in the forecast tonight, but even at home the Marlins have been blessed with good weather.
Certainly have. 2 balls and a strike. Former National League MVP, and that makes it 3-1.
But usually when it just gets a couple of degrees hotter, that's when Terry Pendleton starts to swing the bat.
See the sky overhead. Clouds off in the distance. This is out into left, and that is Sweeney coming over to make the play. 2 innings have been played here. There's no score. Marlins baseball on Sunshine Network. Coming to you live this evening from Joe Robbie Stadium as the Marlins have returned home for an 11-game homestand. Scoreless game as we move to the top of the 3rd, and Tom Pagnozzi's at the plate. Burkett out on the mound, throws wide for ball 1. Pagnozzi, lifetime a .200 hitter against Burkett. Tom's batting .284 this season with 15 RBIs and 3 home runs. Here's one into center field. Devon White moves over and makes the play. Luis Alicea bats in the number 8 slot in the Cardinal order. Alicea, switch hitter, lifetime 125 hitter against Burkett, batting .252. He's hit .345 on the Cardinal road trip. He's picked it up a bit.
Alicea cast off from Boston, Jay, where they released him in spring training. The Cardinals pick him up, and he's their regular second baseman.
That's low. He went 3 for 4 with a double in Monday night's game at Houston. His first 3-hit game of this season. 1 ball and 1 strike. Another one into center. White comes on, 2 away. Well, we'll be with you tomorrow, 7 Eastern time. Big Andy Bennis for St. Louis. Pat Rapp for the Marlins. Hope you'll join us here on Sunshine Network. Game 2. Here's Mr. Rapp.
Talk about a guy that's been a disappointment for the Cardinals. They signed Andy Bennis to a big contract, 3 years, $8+ million, and he is 1-7 for them. His
pitched
brother
very well here in the game when he and Sheffield were tossed.
Right. But his brother Allen's the one that's been pitching pretty well.
Yep. Morgan at the plate. Strike on the outside corner. It's 0-2. Morgan is 0 for 1 this year.
But this ball club, the Cardinals, mentioned about Alicea, they've got a veteran ball club. A lot of guys are over 30 years of age. You look at Ozzie Smith, he's 38. Gaetti, he's 37. Alicea is around 30. Willie McGee, he's in his 30s. Dennis Eckersley, he's 41. So, I mean, they've got a lot of old guys, and if they have some more injuries, they're going to really be hurt.
Morgan is out. 1-3. Scoreless game. We'll be back. Tonight's presentation of Florida Marlins baseball on Sunshine Network is brought to you by Discount Auto Parts. Go with the pros you know. Discount Auto Parts. Bottom of the third inning here in a scoreless game. It'll be Johnson, Graybeck, and Burkett. Over in the American League, second inning, Cleveland 1-0 over Detroit. All of the other action is later. Atlanta playing at Pittsburgh, second inning, no score. Charles Johnson batting .237, 20 RBIs. Ball one to CJ. Out to the shortstop, and the Wizard comes up and throws on.
I think I mentioned a couple moments ago about Ozzie Smith's age. I think I said 38. He's actually 41, but who cares? I mean, the Wizard still can play.
He plays like he's 30.
Well, that's it.
He is the 7th shortstop in Major League history to play at age 41.
Yep. But, I mean, you know, he's played so many years. I know he's had some shoulder problems in recent years, but the Wizard can still play. It seems as though the Cardinals are trying to force him out. They do have a young shortstop, Royce Clayton, that they picked up from San Francisco. But
Ozzie's not pleased about the way it's handled.
No.
I've had a couple of chats with him, but Ozzie has meant a great deal to the Cardinal organization, and he has been a splendid person in the St. Louis community, doing a great deal of charity work. One of the most popular players, certainly over the last 25-30 years for the Cardinals, and one of the most popular players probably ever to put the uniform on there.
See, I think when a player plays for a team and is really recognized in that capacity for what he has done for the city, for the organization, for the ball club, I think that they should at least allow a player to make a decision when he really feels it's time to step down. And I'm saying if he's hurting the ball club so badly, he should recognize that himself and step down, and that's his own decision. But for them to take it away from him for what he has meant to the organization, I just don't think it's right.
Well, it's a tough situation.
I know it's a business, Jay, and we've talked about it so many times.
As an old friend of mine used to say, there's no good way to fire a person.
No, that's
I mean,
exactly
it really
right.
isn't. But Ozzie still thinks that he can be a big contributor. But as you mentioned, they've got the young man waiting in the wings. There's Graybeck fouling off another one. 2-2 to Graybeck, who comes in tonight batting .179. Graybeck getting the call again at second base.
I mean, I have a lot of admiration for Ozzie coming back from a surgery such as his, and especially playing a very demanding position like shortstop.
Yep. Out it goes to Alicea, and he throws on. Graybeck is out number 2. Burkett will come to the plate with a pretty decent batting average, .240 and an RBI.
He got a big knock in Chicago. Swung the bat pretty well. Picked up another hit. I think he was 2 for 2 in that game.
Marlins at 500, 24-24. Team batting average up to .243 and 49 home runs on the year. Strike on the outside corner.
I said 2 for 2. Actually, he was 2 for 4. He got 2 hits in his last 2 at bats.
Right. 0-2. Tonight's game, the first of an 11-game stand, will feature the second appearance of the year by the Cardinals. And also the Cubs and the Expos. And the strikeout is the third for Mike Morgan. After 3, nothing shaking for either side. Marlins baseball on Sunshine Network is brought to you in part by Citgo, the sign of quality. Well, both pitchers, John Burkett and Mike Morgan, have gone through the first 9.
And they got one of those things working.
Yes, sir. One of those things are working.
How often have you seen pitchers go toe-to-toe and go no-hitters through 3 innings? It's kind of nice.
Very often, yeah. Oh. Well, and Sweeney, of course, did get the walk, but then Ozzie hit into the double play. So both of them has faced the minimum. The Florida Panthers have just scored in Game 3, 1-0 at the Miami Arena. Sweeney with that walk. He's been the only base runner for the Cardinals, and he wasn't there very long. Sweeney played his collegiate ball at the University of Maine. More famous for their fight song than anything else, the Stein song.
Can you sing it?
No.
Come on.
No, you wouldn't.
You know it though, right?
Yeah, you wouldn't want to.
Well, you're right. I wouldn't want to hear you sing.
No, you know how I sing.
Yeah.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Sweeney is from Framingham, Massachusetts, a Boston suburb. Ooh, that just missed inside. 2-2. Mark Barron, the plate umpire tonight. Into left field. Conine coming over. He's there. Makes the play. It's now 9 in a row set down by Burkett after that opening walk. Here's Ozzie, grounded into the double play in the first. Inside.
I mean, you agree with me, don't you, Jay, when I mention about Ozzie?
I do.
His average is at 278. He still makes the plays in the field. He can do most everything, but he may not have the same kind of abilities that he once had.
Well, he was probably the most athletic and acrobatic shortstop ever to play the game. And, of course, he's played a long, long time. He came up in '78 with San Diego.
Oh, I remember.
And longevity, you know, they made the trade, Templeton for Smith. And
I think the Cardinals made out like gangbusters.
Well, they did, no question about it. Out it goes to Grayback. 2 away. But Ozzie has been something special. He has a place in history. He'll be in the Hall of Fame. Brian Jordan popped out to end the first inning. Jordan struggled a little bit on the road trip, 4 for 27, batting .148.
Yeah, if it wasn't for a 2 for 5 night, which was a homer and a double, he would really be struggling on this road trip.
1 strike. That's a little low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Tomorrow evening here is Rapp against Bennis. Sunday, Weathers against Osborne. David Weathers getting another opportunity.
I think that's great. He deserves it. He had a great outing in Cincinnati and hit a home run to boot. That was quite nice.
Sure was. Down to Pendleton. Backhands. The throw. Nicely handled by Colburn on the short hop. 3.5 innings have been played. Zeros across the board. Scoreless game as we look at Terry Pendleton, and he and Colburn combining here for the last out.
Well, Terry Pendleton backhands this ball by Jordan. It wasn't real hard hit, but Pendleton didn't take a lot of time getting it across the diamond because Jordan has good speed, and a good scoop over there by Colby.
Devon White flied out to center in the first. Devon leading the club with 11 doubles and 3 triples. Inside for a ball. That's low, 2-0. Minnesota now leads Toronto 2-0. They're playing in Sky Dome, first inning. Fly ball into left. Sweeney going back on the warning track, leaps up off the wall. And it's another double for Devon White. That's number 12.
Yeah, that ball kept carrying and carrying. Sweeney went back to the wall, and it looked like near the end that he might have a shot at it. He leaped up, and actually, I think he could have possibly caught that ball.
It looked like he had enough height on the jump. He just couldn't quite get the glove on it correctly. Edgar Renteria flied to center field in the first.
Well, there goes Morgan's no-hitter. John Burkett, on the other hand, well, he still has that thing going. We did that with Al Leiter when Al threw his no-hitter, but he does have one of those things.
Yes, sir.
Whoa, a little in tight as Renteria squared around, and Mabry is in front of the bag at first, and whoa, watch out.
Slap foul. Today's game brought to you in part by Maurice Lacroix, known throughout the world for fine watches. This elegant yet sporty timepiece with the sapphire crystal, water resistant to 330 feet, presented by Maurice Lacroix, Switzerland. 1 ball and 1 strike to Edgar Renteria. He's hit in 4 of his last 5. Two balls and a strike. Two balls and a strike, and a scoreless game here. Bottom of the 4th inning. Play at second. White back in time.
Devon kidding with Ozzie. What are you doing trying to get a pickoff play here? You know I'm going to get back. The Wizard having some fun.
He ranges in behind him again. Here's the pitch to the plate. It is low. 3 balls and a strike. Renteria is the 4th Colombian-born player to play in the majors. Signed as a non-drafted free agent February 14th of '92. And here is the walk to Renteria. 2 on, nobody out. First pass issued by Morgan. Well, somebody's doing a little work on his teeth there. That's fine. It's a good thing to floss. Very good.
He probably borrowed Tom Hastings' dental floss. If you would have seen what Tom Hastings wore to the park today.
Tommy had his special teeth today.
Yes, he did. They were
our producer
nice.
director, Guy Gaetti going in to talk to Morgan, and here's Colbert. He struck out in the first. Marlins with a threat going. Bottom of the fourth inning, scoreless game. Colbert hits what might be a double play ball. Yes, indeed, they turn it. Taylor made. Ozzie Smith getting it over to Alicea and on to Mabry.
That's the 10th double play ball that Colbert has hit into, but Ozzie starts it and Alicea finishes it and gets Colbert by a step. Now with 2 out and Devon White on third base, that'll give Gary Sheffield an opportunity to try and give the Marlins the lead. We're scoreless here. We're in the bottom of the fourth.
Let's see if Sheffield gets something he can do some damage to. That's low. Sheffield struck out in the second.
Wouldn't think that Morgan would give a whole lot to hit to Sheffield.
I'm in complete agreement with you. But here's one. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is it gone?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, boy. Mike Morgan, the veteran, has made a mistake. And Sheffield took advantage of it. White came across. Here comes Shep. This is number 15. Marlins lead 2-0.
RBI number 30 and 31, and Morgan threw the breaking ball away, missing low and outside, and then came back with a running fastball. Now Morgan meant to get that ball a lot more in, but Sheffield got the head of the bat out, and the ball goes around the fair pole, and yep, a 2-run blast, and it got out of here in a hurry.
Conine looks at one low. There he is. Strike on the outside corner. 1-1 to Conine. Marlins have broken the scoreless tie here in the fourth. Let's take a look at it. Normal speed. Conine put this one in play into right. Jordan is under it, and he makes the catch. The 2-run home run by Sheffield. Marlins lead after 4. We head to the 5th inning, and the damage has been done by the Chef. Here it is, Gary.
When you look back at the pitch, it's not really a mistake pitch by Morgan. He tried to get the ball inside. It's just that Sheffield, with that great bat speed, got the head of the bat on the ball. And the result, 2-0 Marlins.
This is Ray Langford leading it off. And as you look at that replay, Gary, you're correct. I mean, he really was quick with that bat. Got the big head of the bat to it. There's one low. Langford, Gaetti, and Mabry due here in the 5th inning. Powell backing out of play. That last pitch, 79 miles an hour from Burkett.
Well, that was a changeup, Jay.
Right. That's right.
Don't make it out like 79.
Oh, I'm not criticizing it. No.
Okay.
That one is in there. And Langford, who struck out in the second, is walking back to the dugout again.
Well, Langford does strike out a lot, but this pitch, he kind of gives up on. Catches the outside corner, strikeout number 2 against Langford.
Our scoreboard brought to you by Gatorade. Montreal has an early lead. Some of these games just getting underway, some of them later on. In the American League, Cleveland has an early lead at Detroit. Minnesota leading Toronto. Here is Gaetti, who grounded out in the second. Pendleton throws him out for the second time in this game.
Gaetti now 0 for 10 in his last 3 games, including this one here tonight. His average was 161 on this road trip coming into tonight's play. So Gaetti has been struggling, and maybe a lot of it has to do with that broken toe that he had there for a while.
Mabry grounded out in the second. High and inside for a ball. Mabry's 25 years old, from Wilmington, Delaware. Hit .307 in his rookie year. Off the end of the bat, Burkett. Oh, threw high, got him though. Coburn was able to get back on the bag in time. So Burkett continues to be brilliant as the Marlins lead 2-0. Well, the baseball season is heating up, and Ryder has a perfect way to keep you cool. Be one of the first 25,000 fans at the Marlins Cardinal game Sunday the 26th. You'll receive the free picnic cooler bag. For ticket information, call 930-HITS. We hope to see you here at Joe Robbie Stadium. Burkett has done it all right now.
Well, he's done a good portion of it. The other portion, of course, was the 2-run blast by Gary Sheffield.
Yeah. Pendleton, Johnson, and Graybeck due here in the 5th inning. High for a ball. Pendleton, who hit .290 last season, raised his average nearly 80 points after May the 29th. In for a strike. 1-1. Should mention, incidentally, the Marlins have set a club mark for wins in the month of May with 13. They were 12-15 in May of '94. Foul back. With that home run by Sheffield, the Marlins now have hit 2 more homers at home than on the road. Tonight's trivia question brought to you by Aflac. What's the major league record for consecutive extra base hits?
I just said it earlier. Larry Walker. He got 6.
Into left field. Sweeney comes on. 1 away. Were you listening earlier? Is that correct? Oh, they're digging deep.
Well, they must have found that out because they said that Larry Walker, they had it in the paper, they said that, and on some of the newscasts.
Can't always believe what you read in the paper, but probably somebody got that stat wrong somewhere. Well, or, of course, maybe our Mavens in the truck.
Mavens, yeah, the little million. Yeah,
maybe he's got it wrong, huh? we want a recount and a recheck on that trivia question.
I don't even know those guys that they showed up there.
Those are 2 that I don't know either. Believe it or not.
That's hard for me to believe.
I know.
You're right. That one fouled off that
hurt.
Shoe tops of Charles Johnson.
Well, we'll get our research team, our giant staff, working on that just to double check it.
Here, look at that. Elmer Smith and Earl Sheely, 1921-26.
Household names.
Oh, big time.
Hot shot out to Ozzie. He handles it. 2 away. Oh, with 2 out. It'll be Craig Grayback who grounded out in the 3rd.
I hate to say this, but it's starting to cool down a little bit.
It's raining somewhere.
A big time.
Yeah, it's raining close by. I can tell you that. Big black cloud out beyond right center. Grayback takes low for a ball. There you see the sky out there, and it's beginning to darken up pretty good. 2 balls and no strikes. Caught the outside corner. Montreal has jumped out in front of Los Angeles at Olympic Stadium 4-0, second inning. Three balls and a strike. Marlins lead 2-0 here. Sheffield's 2-run homer in the 4th. There is the chef. Man from Tampa. Walk to Grayback with 2 out. Will give Burkett the opportunity to bat. That walk is the 2nd issued by Mike Morgan. Burkett struck out in the 3rd. Gary, you know, since giving up 15 runs in 13 in the 3rd innings in those 3 starts in Colorado when the Marlins were swept on May 3rd, 4th, and 5th, the Marlins starters have posted a 2.57 ERA in the last 16 games.
Oh, they've been outstanding, especially when it comes to going to the 7th inning and all. But Burkett not able to come through as Ozzie Smith throws out Grayback, and that's going to be it for the Marlins. They still lead it 2-0.
Sundays are special on the home games here. Autograph Sunday, sponsored by Upper Deck. Be one of the first 800 fans to enter Gate D at 12 noon before the Marlins play the Cardinals Sunday. You'll get an autograph from one of 4 Marlin players who'll be signing at that time. Tom Pagnozzi, Luis Alicea, Mike Morgan do. We move to the 6th inning. Marlins leading it 2-0. Pagnozzi flied into center field. Back in the 3rd. And there goes the no-hitter.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Had to happen, I guess. Eventually didn't have to, but it did. Pagnozzi with the first hit of the game.
Well, it was a clean base hit. It wasn't hit real hard, but Burkett now gets a good round of applause from the fans that are here.
He had retired 14 in a row.
Yeah, little slider. Pagnozzi didn't hit it very hard, but it does fall between White and Conine. The first hit for the Cardinals.
Luis Alicea. Pagnozzi is running, and the only play Colburn has, as they had the hit and run on, is to make the play on Alicea at first. So the runner at second. Mike Morgan.
Tony La Russa showing a little bit of his aggressiveness, being down 2-0, and with the pitcher coming up, and now John Burkett signals to Charles Johnson that with a runner on second, they'll go through a series of signs. Mike Morgan grounded out back in the 3rd.
Strike on the outside corner to Morgan, who the Athletics selected 4th overall in the '78 draft. Brought him to the big leagues, as Gary mentioned, not long after that, not long after his high school graduation.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Kind of a nice little treat to graduate from high school. You just received your diploma, and now you're pitching in the big leagues.
Texas did that with David Clyde.
David Clyde, yeah, he was there. Dave Winfield, he came right off the university. You know, Bob Horner.
Bob Horner came out of Arizona State.
Right.
Yep.
There's been a few.
1 ball and 2 strikes. A little high, 2-2. The strikeout is the 3rd for Burkett. Berkey lives now in Scottsdale, Arizona, from the Pittsburgh area. Very talented bowler. He's played in some professional tournaments.
The town in Pittsburgh that you're talking about, Beaver.
Beaver, right outside.
In fact, he looks a little bit like the Beaver. Terry Mathers.
Mark Sweeney.
Jerry Mathers.
Jerry Mathers.
Not Terry.
That's right. Leave it to Beaver, huh?
Yeah. You remember watching that?
No, I haven't been watching it. I remember.
I said, do you remember watching it?
Remember.
I didn't say lately.
Oh, okay.
I know, you never watch TV.
Yeah, in those days, Beav was on first television, had great message, only had 3 networks and an independent station where I was living.
Well,
didn't have all these channels.
I remember we had channels 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, and 13 when I was growing up.
Of course, you lived in the Los Angeles area.
Well, of course, but that was all.
Yep.
By the year 2000, I imagine we're going to have well over 500 cable channels.
Burkett stepping off the mound and having a little discussion.
Well, he thinks that Pagnazzi might be flashing signs.
Yeah, he had a few words for Pagnazzi. 1 ball and 1 strike. Foul out of play. Again, in case you're joining us late, Sweeney walked in the 1st. And then 14 in a row were retired by Burkett. One of them, Sweeney, in the 4th when he flied to left.
Well, we're going to key in now on Charles Johnson's signs. Wiggle 2, 1, 1. Well, he flashes them pretty quickly.
That's off the end of the bat. See, you were saying the other night in Cincinnati, and I found it interesting that Charles is very quick with those signs, isn't he?
Very quick.
A little tough to read, maybe, but of course, if you're working with him all the time, I guess it's.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to make them real short and to
deliberate,
the point, deliberate.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, what I'm saying is that he's very quick, and it's almost like you don't even pick up some of them.
Here's a shot into right field, and it's going to drop in. Sheffield makes a great play, gets it in, but not in time, as Sweeney hit one into the gap in right, gets the RBI. He's at second. It's 2-1.
Sweeney is one of those type of hitters that tries to go to left field, and right here Burkett takes something off, and Sweeney able to get out in front and pulls it. Sheffield did get over to it quickly, made a good backhanded play, but nonetheless, Sweeney gets the double and the RBI.
Ozzie Smith has grounded into a double play and grounded out.
The thing I was going to mention about getting signs, if there's somebody flashing signs, what you really key on is to see if that hitter happens to have good swings at the plate. If so, then obviously something has occurred where he is maybe getting a tip somewhere or another, either location or the sign, and there's all kinds of variations of what
players do when they're on second base. Stand tall for a fastball, go down to their knees for a breaking ball, look to the left if it's inside, look to the right if it's outside. There's all those kinds of variations.
The games within a game.
Well, yeah. The things that the people really at home don't really see. Or for that matter, the people in the stands, they don't see those kind of things. But that's where your focus and your concentration really extends into the game when you're watching everything else around you, and the fans and everything else are not a distraction anymore.
Foul back to the screen. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Ozzie Smith. Marlins lead cut in half here.
There's big Andy Bennis. He'll be towing the slab in tomorrow night's game. 1-7 on the year.
Check swing, and ooh, that hit Jordan in the on-deck circle. I don't think it hurt him at all.
Oh, come on, ex-football player, multi-sport star.
He's strong.
Dude, all-pro safety for the Atlanta Falcons. Yeah, that didn't bother him.
Another 1-2 pitch coming to Ozzie. 2-2. That fastball at 88 miles an hour, a little high and tight. Grayback makes a nice play. Grayback going to his right, was able to pick and throw. Cardinals get one. Marlins leading it 2-1. We'll be back. Craig Grayback making the nice play to cut down Ozzie Smith and end the threat.
Not an easy play, but he does make it look easy as he backhands it, and then going away from the play, fires back to Colburn to get Smith by plenty.
This presentation of Marlins baseball on Sunshine Network is brought to you by your local Chevrolet Geo dealers. If you haven't driven a Chevrolet today, you haven't driven a Chevrolet.
Oh, okay.
Keep working on that. You'll get it. Don't worry.
Well, when you got the card to read it, I guess maybe I'll get better if I got it in front of me too.
Oh, I'm not going to give you the card. I want you to memorize that. It's important. Devon White leading it off in the 6th. Devon has flied to center. He has doubled and scored. He scored on Sheffield's home run. That came in the 4th inning. Marlins leading 2-1. 1 ball and 1 strike to White.
Well, the Penguins just scored, so that game is now all tied at 1. Smolinski from the Penguins scored it for the Penguins.
2 balls and a strike. High fly ball into short left. Ozzie gives way. Sweeney is there. Edgar Renteria has flied to center and walks. Latch looks out at the scene. His club up 2-1. Like to get this homestand started with a victory. Marlins took 2 out of 3 from the Cardinals, and of course it was the Cardinals who in game 3 of the series played here that ended the Marlins win streak at 9 with a shutout.
Todd Stottlemyre, a 4-hitter, struck out 13, and the fans came down on the players, especially Jeff Conine, which I again was very surprised at for all what Jeff has done for this organization in the community. But it seems like the fans are relatively tame tonight. Of course, the Marlins do have a 2-1 lead now, and John Burkett has been masterful to this point.
Three balls and a strike.
Each club with 2 hits apiece. Of course, the big blast off the bat of Gary Sheffield, his 15th home run of the year. And then it was Mark Sweeney's double that scored Pagnozzi.
Here's the walk to Renteria. That is the third walk issued by Mike Morgan. You're going to have a moment. I wanted to ask you, Saberhagen might be finished, huh?
Well, he might be. I guess his shoulder, it does require season-ending surgery, but whether or not he's able to come back from that, and apparently the complication is similar to what Oral Hershiser went through. And it's in the rotator cuff area, very delicate surgery. And the doctor who performed the arthroscopic surgery on Saberhagen said that there was a tear and that he should have the surgery, and he declined, kind of on the influence of the general manager of the Colorado Rockies, Bob Gebhardt, and he rehabbed, but he just has no strength in the arm. So that's really hurt the Rockies. They really don't have a #1 starter there. They lost Saberhagen, and of course Billy Swift is another one that they're still missing. So it's kind of like a pitching staff by committee.
And a tough place to pitch. Colburn has struck out and grounded into a double play.
Hey, if I was a free agent with the likes or the great success of somebody like Greg Maddux, and you're coming off a couple of Cy Young awards, I don't care how much money that they give to you. How could you play or pitch in a park like that knowing that every ball that somebody might hit might go out?
Tough to sleep nights when you're at home out there.
That is for sure.
Renteria is at first. He has the good speed. He has not stolen a base since coming up from Charlotte.
Now Morgan taking a little bit more time watching Renteria, and Colburn up there, possible hit and run.
And the ball hit to Ozzie. And the toss in time to Alicea. All he could do was hold on, as Renteria did a pretty good job of messing up any chance for him to get the throw on to first.
You got to admire Ozzie Smith's athleticism as he ranges to his right, comes in and fires back behind his body a little bit on the move and makes the easy play at second.
Paul Kennedy and Fran Kersey following press box tonight with Arena Football. Orlando and San Jose right here on Sunshine Network.
PK, we haven't seen PK in a while.
He's going to get down this way and visit with us during this homestand. Sheffield has struck out, banged out the 2-run homer in the 4th. Marlins leading 2-1. Hits even at 2 apiece. Fly ball into center field. Langford in under it. That's going to do it. After 6 at JRS. Marlins up 2-1. Our game summary, and the Marlins are up 2-1. Sheffield's 2-run homer. John Burkett with a no-hitter for 5. Sweeney an RBI double in this game. Brian Jordan standing at the plate. He has popped out and he has grounded out. Pendleton backed up. Look out. Safe at first. And Colburn comes up limping. He hurt himself.
Well, he got stepped on.
Yep. As he came down, it looked like Jordan caught him.
Kind of thought that play, Pendleton was in trouble a little bit when the ball bounded and he went back on it a little bit. But here's Jordan, and sure enough, he catches, it looks like the heel or maybe the Achilles tendon part of Greg Colburn, but he seems to be okay. He's walking it off, and Latch and Kevin Rand run off the field, so Colburn will stay in there. But the throw was high, and they're going to give an infield single to Jordan, who runs extremely well. But once Pendleton backed up on that ball, he really would have had no chance on Jordan.
At the end of the first period at the Miami Arena, the Penguins 1-1. Here the Marlins lead 2-1. Langford has struck out twice. And on both occasions he's had a hard look at Mark Barron, the plate umpire. That hit for St. Louis, the third. You're just joining us. 2-run home run for Sheffield, his 15th of the year. White scoring in front of him, as White had led off the 4th inning with a double. A run on 2 hits. Sweeney getting the RBI double in the 6th for the Cardinals. 2-1 here. Outside.
This St. Louis ball club, Jay, and maybe my day, there used to be a lot of base stealing.
There was.
That transpired.
Whitey Herzog loved to run them on that AstroTurf, didn't he?
Yep. Johnny Burkett, 75 pitches to this point. Last year, the Cardinals were 11th in the league in stolen bases with just 79. So gone are the days of the Lou Brocks, the Vince Colemans, the days of Ozzie Smith when he used to steal 30 or 40 bases in a year.
See the man sitting next to Ozzie there with the glasses? We'll get another shot of him. That's
Kittle?
That's George Kissel.
Oh, Kissel.
And he has been a long time coach with the Cardinals.
That's right.
George, great baseball man.
You remember Hub Kittle?
I sure do.
He was another one, right?
Another one, right. But he has been in the Cardinal organization a long, long time. 2 balls and no strikes. Miss seeing Hall of Famer Red Schoendienst no longer traveling with the club. They did retire the number.
Oh, they did?
Yes, they did.
Okay, and it's official.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we'll see Red, of course, when we're in St. Louis, but he doesn't travel with them anymore.
Right.
Yorkis Perez, the left-hander, up in the Marlin pen.
The reason why I was wondering, because, you know, on the roster, it shows all the players, and it still doesn't have Red's number retired. They got Musials retired, Dizzy Deans, Lou Brocks,
Ken Boyer,
Bob Gibson's. No, I don't think Ken Boyer's was it? Oh, okay. Ken Boyer's the 14th. All right.
Yeah. But,
and I don't see Red Schoendienst.
Well, it's my understanding that they had that ceremony a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
But I will double check it. But the old redhead, quite a fellow over the years. Well, we will take a look at today's stolen base totals. They're brought to you by Citgo. See, Clayton has 13 for St. Louis, and Brian McRae leading the way with 18. He went around. Full count.
Well, Jordan has 2 stolen bases on the year, has been caught stealing twice, and now on this 3-2 count, watch for Jordan to possibly be in motion.
Toss over. Very warm evening, although it has cooled off somewhat. Payoff pitch coming. Runner goes. Foul back. Well, I want to say what a wonderful time I had here today, this morning.
What did you
Pleasure
do?
to MC the program for the best of the class of '96. President of the Marlins, Don Smiley, gave the keynote address to the youngsters here today, and we honored the top students and Dade Broward. And let's remind you, too, that Sunshine will be back here Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday for the action. The Reds come calling. Monday on the air at 4:30 Eastern Time. Another one foul back.
So did you get an award then too?
No, I got no award. I was telling them. No award for being. I was telling them how proud I was that they were all fine students and great kids. That I was reminded when I was in high school that they gave me an IQ test, and I got back the results in an envelope, and it said I owed 7 points.
You owe 7.
But we had a lot of fun. It was great being here today. 3-2. Runner goes again, and it's high, and there's 2 on and none out. The Cardinals with a threat here in the 7th. That walk is the second given up by Burkett. He walks Sweeney to start the game.
Now they're going to have a conference on the mound. Larry Rothschild conferring with Renee on pitch total with Burkett, although Johnny Burkett has always been one to throw a lot of pitches. And Yorkis Perez continues to throw in the Marlins pen. But Johnny Burkett, after pitching 5 no-hit innings, is still ahead 2-1, but in a little bit of a jam at this juncture of the game.
And he's got to face Gaetti, who's been in quite a slump, as you alluded to earlier. He's grounded out twice here tonight.
Well, good guy to have at the plate then. Maybe get another double play ball here. Cardinals have out-hit the Marlins 3-2, but the Marlins lead it on Sheffield's home run 2-1.
Hot shot into left. Brian Jordan, he stopped at third, but now he's going to come home as Conine mishandled that ball in left.
Well, it's probably going to be an error now that is going to be given to Conine, unfortunately, because third base coach Tommy Runnels had held up Brian Jordan. The ball was hit very hard, and then the ball comes off the glove of Conine, and that allowed Reynolds to then send Jordan home. But you see, Jordan then looked back, and then he decided and elected to go home, and then of course Langford came over to third. So runners at the corners. Larry Rothschild out to talk with Burkett, and this is about the point in time in the game where you start recognizing a little bit with John Burkett where he maybe starts to get a little tired. And one of the things that Rothschild is out there to talk over with him is to find out how he feels. And Kurt Miller now has joined Yorkis Perez. Take another look at the current road trip that the Marlins had started. See what the Cardinals, but lost 2 of 3 here, and then won 3 straight. Their record currently is 4-5, and this is their final stage of their road trip, and they'll head back to St. Louis.
John Mabry is grounded out twice. It's now a 2-2 game. Runners at the corners, nobody out. Fouled out of play.
Well, you're right about Gaetti. He was due, and he was first pitch hitting and found a hole to the left side. That's the veteran of Gaetti, conferring there with Dave McKay. Gaetti, who does not run very well now.
Swing and a miss. Burkett could use the strikeout. 1-2.
Gaetti does have 1 strikeout on, one stolen base on the year. You just got through saying the strike to Mabry with that big swing that he had. Not a big lead at first.
Just inside. 2-2.
John Mabry, a natural outfielder, getting a chance to play first base, and he's done quite a job.
That one high, a full count. Mabry looking down at Tommy Reynolds, the runners. Langford at third, and across the diamond, Gary Gaetti. A run home to tie it at 2-2.
Oh, let's see if La Russa has Gaetti going.
No, he's not going. Fly ball to center field. Well hit. White will handle it. Langford will tag, and he'll score. And Gaetti will go on to second. The sacrifice fly for Mabry. He picks up his 23rd RBI. The Cardinals go on top.
Good job of running by the veteran Gaetti, tagging up at first base when he saw the lofty fly ball go deep enough where he thought he had a chance, and gets now into scoring position for Pagnozzi.
Pagnozzi broke up the no-hitter in the 6th with a leadoff single and later scored on Sweeney's double. St. Louis has plated 2 here in the 7th to take the lead 3-2. Gaetti at second with 1 out. On the outside corner, 0-2. That just missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Pagnozzi has been hit with the injury bug the last couple of seasons, has had some arthroscopic surgeries on his knees.
Here's a shot into center field. Gaetti coming home, and he's going to be in there and going down to second on the throw. Pagnozzi picking up RBI number 16. 4-2 St. Louis.
The Cards have plated 3 here in the top half of the 7th inning. That's going to be it now for John Burkett as Rene Lachemann is on his way to the mound. But Gaetti got a good jump from second base and was able to score easily as Pagnozzi went on to second.
Pitching change here in the 7th, and we'll be back right after this. The Cardinals have the 4-2 lead here. We're still in the top of the 7th. They have plated 3. Out-hit the Marlins now 5-2. Let's take you back to one of our Sunshine Network flashbacks. August 9th of '94. Billy the Marlin marching with his troops. Score tied at 3, bottom of the 9th. Chuck Carr, 2-run home run. The first game-ending home run in Marlins history. And the Marlins would go on to win that game 5-3 over the St. Louis Cardinals. Our Marlins flashback.
Well, and of course the Marlins have had a couple of other game-winning home runs. Pendleton this year and Charles Johnson.
This pitching change of the game is brought to you by the pros you know at Discount Auto Parts. And here is Kurt Miller. Luis Alicea has flied to center. He is grounded out. Kurt Miller getting the call. We mentioned earlier in the telecast, David Weathers will be starting, getting his 2nd start of the year Sunday here. Alicea and out on base, Pagnozzi.
You know, that game back in Chicago that John Burkett threw, Jay, he went 5 innings in that game of no-hit ball. But tonight, well, he was a victim. He went 5 innings, no hit, and then lasted 6 1/3. 5 hits, 4 runs, they're all earned. And a good stop by Colbran, and got him.
Yes,
good
indeed. Play. Colbran never quit on that ball. He had it. It slipped away from him. Went and got it over there in time. Miller covering. On the play, Pagnozzi to third.
It was a hot shot, and it ticked off the glove of Colbran, but he never said never and still made the play as Kurt Miller was covering. That is a big league play there by Greg Colbran.
Morgan tonight has grounded out. He is struck out. Little popper out in the right center field area. Coming up with it is Graybeck. And the St. Louis Cardinals come up with 3 runs on 3 hits to lead it 4-2. Live from Joe Robbie Stadium in Miami, Florida Marlins baseball on Sunshine Network. Four to 2 Cardinals. The Penguins have scored in the early going second period. Take a 2-1 lead over the Panthers. Mike Morgan going back to work. He'll face Conine, Pendleton, and Johnson. Conine second on the club, 27 RBIs. He's grounded out and flied to right. Pittsburgh up 2-1 early in the second period of play. Morgan's a little high with that one. Chris Hammond, the left-hander, loosening up in the bullpen. 2 balls and no strikes. High fly ball into center. Langford. He's there. 1 away. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Florida Marlins, may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the Marlins. Pendleton has flied to left twice. Mike Morgan has hung in there, given up only the 2 hits. It's fouled away. This pitcher was making $3,375,000 last year. He was re-signed for 1 year by the Cardinals for $1,250,000.
A little pay cut.
Yes, a little pay cut.
Yeah, but
surgery, of course. If he can make a comeback, he's still pretty well paid, and he's a veteran. I'm sure he's somewhat of a help to some of the younger pitchers on the staff.
I would say so. They also have Dennis Eckersley, although he has a little bit of a sore shoulder right now. TJ Matthews picked up a save the other day. And I got to believe that Eck is going to be a Hall of Famer with the record that he has as a starter, and now well over 300 saves in his career.
That's really remarkable.
It is, to make that transition like that.
2-2 the count to Pendleton. Johnson is on deck. Cardinals lead 4-2. Ricochets off Morgan. Pendleton in time. Ball out to Alisea, and he made the throw, but Pendleton gets the infield single. Gene Gieselman, the longtime trainer of the Cardinals, out to the mound to check on the hurler.
Ball was hit very sharply. One hopper off the grass and caught Morgan on that knee, and he ran around trying to get to first base like he was going to cover, but I'm sure that he'll throw a couple to see. It got him on the inside part of the right knee. Of course, that's his push-off leg, so it could bother him. It could stiffen up. This he might try and get through this inning, Jay. But
we've talked a lot in the last 10 days about how many pitchers we've seen get shots up the middle with this juiced ball that they're playing with these days. I'm reminded that Kevin Brown will throw a 5-inning simulated game tomorrow. He threw a simulated game in Cincinnati and all went well. And hopefully, if all goes well tomorrow, he'll start on the 28th.
That would be nice.
Tomorrow, Andy Bennis, Pat Rapp. They're the pitchers. We'll be on the air at 7 Eastern Time. Hope you'll join us here on Sunshine Network. Charles Johnson is grounded out twice, short to first. Now back off the chest protector of Pagnozzi. Cleveland's leading Detroit 3-2 in the 6th inning. Oakland 2-0 over Baltimore in the 5th.
The Cardinals bullpen gets busy in a hurry. Tony Foss, the left-hander, and T.J. Matthews, the right-hander.
Here's a high fly ball to center field. Langford, he's there. Just got under that one a little. There's the bullpen of the Cardinals. Matthews, who gave up the grand slam to Pendleton. Dvorak, the rookie, has tied it for Florida. They're 2-2, second period. LaRusso wants to have an opportunity to come back out and talk with his pitcher. Now the plate umpire coming out there with him, and I think Morgan is telling him, I got a problem.
Tony LaRussa has signaled for the right-hander, so T.J. Matthews will come in, and I think the discussion is whether or not T.J. will get as many tosses that is allotted.
That's a good point, yeah.
And because of the injury.
A pitching change, and we'll be back with more in a moment. It's 4-2 Cardinals, bottom of the 7th inning.
One more time, we'll go back to the ball that Pendleton hit right back up through the middle that catches Morgan on the inside of the right knee. That got him good because it was a one-hopper, and Morgan is out of this game working 6 2/3. But he stands to pick up his first victory on the year. There is his line score, 86 pitches, and he's limping pretty significantly now in the dugout.
I think that really began to hurt him out there, and he let him know. Now here is T.J. Matthews, his 22nd appearance.
Let me tell you, Jay, I had the pleasure of playing with Mike Morgan, and he's a gamer.
Yes,
I mean,
he is.
He will stick in there, and he's a hard worker. He's a great competitor, and I don't think he wanted to come out of this game until it got to the point where, and as I mentioned, that it was going to probably stiffen up a little bit on him, and that's exactly probably what happened.
As Matthews warms up, let's show you the standings in the National League East. Marlins coming into tonight's game, 7 back. Atlanta now on top. Montreal in the 2 slot. Houston, Chicago, and St. Louis in the Central. Nobody in the Central with a winning record. Following Marlins baseball tonight, the press box, scores and highlights. And of course, it's arena football following that. So stay with us right here on Sunshine Network. Matthews, as I mentioned, gave up that grand slam home run to Terry Pendleton here earlier this season. His last appearance was Wednesday night at Houston when he pitched 1/3 of an inning and picked up his second save. And it's going to be Joe Orsulak who is the pinch hitter.
And he'll hit for Craig Grayback, and Kurt Miller still stands on deck. Keep in mind, Chris Hammond is still loosening up in the Marlins pen. For the Marlins pinch hitters, they are hitting 154 on the year, 8 for 52 with a home run and 5 RBIs. And Orsulak, as a pinch hitter, is 2 for 16 with 2 of those RBIs.
This pitcher was born in Belleville, Illinois. Played at Columbia, Illinois High School, and then later at Oklahoma State. Grew up in the St. Louis area with the Cardinals as his favorite team. High and outside to Orsulak.
It's kind of nice to have a favorite team and then be able to pitch for them.
That's right. Have it be your favorite team. Well, as a youngster when you were growing up.
Well, the Dodgers.
Dodgers were your team, and eventually you did get an opportunity to play for them. But
yeah, 16 years later.
That's right.
Or even longer than that when you include minor leagues. But did have the pleasure of playing there 1 year.
Into left, Sweeney comes on, makes the catch. It is 4-2 St. Louis after 7. Into the game comes Ralph Milliard. He's out there at second base.
And he'll bat in the 9th position as Chris Hammond takes over on the mound. Chris Hammond in his 11th game now, 2-5 on the year, the 8.53 ERA. There's the rest of his numbers. And Chris Hammond will go to work at the top of the order, and Mark Sweeney.
Sweeney a strike. He walked in the first, flied to left in the 4th, and doubled and picked up the RBI in the 6th. Hammond has worked 7 2/3 scoreless innings since moving to the bullpen on May the 7th. Here's one out into right. And it's going to fall in front of Sheffield. Sweeney has the leadoff single here in the 8th. Jeff Parrott loosening up for the Cardinals.
Well, Ozzie turns around to the right side. Pendleton in front of the bag. A quick throw, and Sweeney just able to get back. Hammond with that outstanding pickoff move. And Ozzie might possibly be up there to bunt Sweeney along, or maybe a possible hit and run.
And the sacrifice is good. The play goes 1-4. Well, that'll give Brian Jordan an opportunity.
Well, this is another reason why, Jay, Ozzie is so valuable. He does the little things. Puts down the perfect bunt. The only play that Hammond has is to go to first base. So Smith does his job.
They're going to put Jordan on here.
Well, you got to set up a force play, but also you're going to pitch to another left-hander in Langford. So there's a couple of different ways to look at this. Okay, Jordan hitting .268. Has not been swinging the bat that well, but then you're going to pitch to the left-hander, so you got to go with the percentages.
Jordan trots down to first. 2 on and 1 out. Langford has struck out twice. In the 7th, he walked and later scored. At Pittsburgh, Pirates leading over Atlanta 2-0, 7th inning. Montreal 4-1 over LA in the 4th at Montreal. San Diego leads the Mets 3-0, 5th inning at New York. Houston 4, Chicago 0, 4th inning in the Dome. Cincinnati at Colorado and Philadelphia at San Francisco later. The attendance tonight 19,583. Curveball is low. Cleveland and Detroit now are tied 3-3, 6th inning at Detroit. Minnesota leads 4-0 at Toronto, 6th inning. Here's one out into center field. Can White get there? Yes! What a fine play. White on the run, full bore. Made made the play on the warning track and then cracked into the wall, and the fans here appreciate that one very much indeed.
Now the fans are also starting to realize the kind of ground that Devon White can cover. This ball is absolutely smoked to right center field. Devon White was playing Langford pretty much straight up, and I mean at full tilt is able to come up with the running catch. And the key about this play too is that Sweeney thought the ball was going to be in. He does not tag up. Jordan was already to second base, so guess what? No advancements and still the same situation. So now it's up to Gaetti with Sweeney at second and Jordan at first.
And the curveball from Hammond is a little high. Gaetti had grounded out in the second and in the fifth, and then he came through with that RBI single in the seventh and later scored. Sweeney and Jordan the runners, second and first. The off-speed pitch is high, 2-0. Atlanta's just come up with 3 runs to take the lead at Pittsburgh in the 7th inning, 3-2. Fly ball center field. Backing up, making the play, Devon White. It's a 4-2 game. The Cardinals have the lead. Boston Market, WLYF Light 101.5 and WTVJ Channel 6. Want to turn your Sundays into family fun days? Be at the JRS Sports Town between 11:30 and 1:30. Enjoy the food, drinks, and entertainment for the Marlins play these Cardinals this Sunday the 26th. Milliard will lead it off. The young second baseman. Strike on the outside corner. That's up into the seats and right. Milliard made his major league starting debut on the 18th at Chicago. Picked up his first hit with a bunt single off Traxel in that game. Contract purchase from Charlotte on the 10th of May. Second native of Curacao to play in the big leagues. This is a fellow we've told the story often, but many of you may be looking in for the first time and seeing him. He went to the Netherlands when he was 12 years old, played on the Dutch national team, was the minor league player of the year for the Marlins last year. Another one into the seats. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Milliard was? I thought it was Renteria was the player of the year in the minor leagues.
Let me look that up. Maybe I've got that wrong. I'm right about the Netherlands, I know.
Oh, you're definitely right about that.
Who was the...
I'll show you here in a second, because
You may be correct there. He was certainly the best prospect in the organization, but I don't know why I thought Milliard got that award. I'll look it up.
How about if I look it up for you?
That's a good idea. 2-2 the count.
Because I'm almost certain it's Renteria.
You're probably right.
Well, I'm just trying to help you out there, partner.
Right, I know that. Full count now to Milliard. Marlins down 4-2, and he strikes out. Well, there's our power pitch, brought to you by the pros you know at Discount Auto Parts. And here it is.
The last pitch clocked at 91 miles an hour, and obviously this is a power pitch. Now TJ Matthews is being worked into one day being the closer.
Yes, that's right.
You know, Tom Henke is gone.
and they brought over Dennis Eckersley, but they're very high on this TJ Matthews. They feel that he can be a closer material.
Here's one out into center. Way back goes Langford. Makes the catch right at the 4:02 mark. Boy, White hit that ball a long way.
Yes, he did. Now, am I right on that?
Yes, you're correct. Renteria was the Marlins Organizational Player of the Year.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Devon White got a hold of the TJ Matthews fastball and drills it to center field, but Langford right there. And Devo a little disappointed that ball didn't carry a little bit more. The air's a little heavy here tonight. You can tell that balls aren't flying generally the way they do.
That ball Sheffield got out, he hit on a line.
Well, yeah.
Well, here is Edgar Renteria, who is flied to center. He has walked twice. Strike one. Renteria, born in Colombia, as we mentioned earlier. Milliard, born in Curacao. It's in at the knees, 0-2.
See, this is the only reason why I brought it to your attention. I remember looking and seeing that.
That's right.
Jay Powell was the pitcher of the year in the Marlins organization.
Correct.
I just, thought it would be something.
I appreciate you taking care of me.
No problema.
There's Rob Nen in the pen. Way wide. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Colburn is on deck. The Marlins need some base runners. We're in the 8th. Wide, 2-2.
I guess you saw where Abbott did agree to go down to Charlotte.
Yes,
and he is going to play, but he's going to play shortstop. He's not going to play third base that they might have intended him to do, although speculation has it that one day in the future of the Marlins,
struck him out.
Abbott might be the third baseman.
Yeah, well, I think he thought it all over and went back to work, and he'll do his best. 4-2. St. Louis. To the top of the 9th inning. Mabry will lead it off. He's grounded out twice and came up with a sacrifice fly in the 7th inning to pick up an RBI, his 23rd. Chris Hammond out there on the hill. This is Milliard ranging to his left, making the play. Bagnozzi will be next. Bagnozzi has flied to center, singled and scored in the 6th, and then singled and picked up an RBI in the 7th.
And with that ground out by Mabry, that's going to end his 10-game winning streak unless the Marlins do come back in the bottom half of the 9th inning and either tie it up and send it into extra innings, or if they do win it, then Mabry's hitting streak does go by the boards. Bagnozzi's average now up to 298.
Bagnozzi takes a strike on the outside corner. 1-1 in the bullpen. Jay Powell up now. That's low. 2 balls and a strike. That floats in high. 3-1. Gary, Atlanta will miss Dave Justice.
They will miss him. He's got to go through a long rehab process, and the other guys that are filling in admirably, Dwight Smith and Jerome Walton's had a bit of a groin injury, but this This Jermaine Dye, this kid that's just come up, he's done a very good job.
Here's the payoff pitch from Hammond. Into right field. Sheffield on the run, and he'll take it on the first bounce.
Well, and the rustling of boos here by these fans thinking that Sheffield should have got to that ball.
Well, it was tailing away from him, and I'm not so sure that he could have gotten to it.
Well,
Jay, a long way in from him. You know?
It did fall in front of him. I think on that other hit that Sweeney had, that might have been a little bit of a question mark. But again, the judging part of fly balls and hard hit balls and all is taking quite a bit of time for Sheffield to make that adjustment.
Right, he does not pick the ball up well at times off the bat. Alicea has flied to center, grounded out twice. 1 on and 1 out. St. Louis leads 4-2. There's a strike to Alicea. Turn the double play. Nice job, Milliard to Renteria and over to Colburn. They'll go to the bottom of the 9th. Well, the fans there have been making a lot of noise. We're going to the bottom of the 9th. Cardinals leading 4-2. We'll be with you tomorrow at 7 Eastern Time. Andy Bennis for the Cardinals. Pat Rapp for the Marlins. Of course, Bennis pitched here in that game when he got tossed as well as Sheffield. Bennis was going along pitching very well on that occasion.
There's a look at Todd Stottlemyre. That's the kid that through the 13 strikeout 4-hit performance against the Marlins that ended the 9-game winning streak. Andy Bennis, on the other hand, I guess the Marlins are going to be happy to face him. He's 1-7 on the year.
Donovan Osborne and David Weathers will hook up here in the 3rd game of this series on Sunday afternoon. Colburn, Sheffield, and Conine, and hopefully more. 9th inning. T.J. Matthews throws high for a ball. Outside, ball 2. And that's high and tight, 3-0. And Pagnozzi wants to talk to Matthews. And it's Rick Honeycutt, the left-hander, in the Cardinal bullpen.
Another veteran for Tony La Russa. Honeycutt threw for La Russa in Oakland, as did Eckersley. I mean, I kind of felt like this was the Eastern version of the Oakland A's.
The National League version, anyway. You're right. There's a strike on the outside corner. 3-1. Colburn is struck out, grounded into a double play, and reached on a fielder's choice. Pops it up. Pagnozzi. He's called for it. In foul territory, he makes the play. So Sheffield will come to the plate with nobody on. Sheffield struck out in the 2nd. Banged out the 2-run homer in the 4th. Fly to center in the 6th. Foul back. Marlins have but 3 hits in this game. Just low, 1 ball and 1 strike. High, 2 balls and a strike.
It's kind of weird that this schedule, the way it was made, that this is the last time that the Cardinals come to South Florida in the '96 season. We're only end of May.
I've never seen anything quite like this schedule. There's a strike, 2-2. And it's very interesting, too, that when we go to St. Louis, Marlins turn around and go right back in there practically a week to 10 days later again. Similar situation.
Exactly right.
Here's the 2-2. Fouled out of play. The Marlins will go into St. Louis on the 16th, 17th, and 18th. Then they go on to Chicago for 3, have a day off, come home and play 3 against Cincinnati, and go right back to St. Louis. Another foul off the bat of Sheffield. Sheffield and T.J. Matthews in a battle here. Marlins got 2 hits, the double from White and then the home run from Sheffield in the 4th. An infield single from Pendleton in the 7th. 4-2 St. Louis. Foul back again.
Quite a battle going on.
A real good battle.
Yeah.
It really is.
But you see, this is kind of what shows the character of a ball club, Jay. The Marlins battled so hard to get back to the 500 mark after getting to their all-time low where they were 11-21, coming off of that sweep in Colorado where the Rockies blasted the Marlins, and of course the big game for them was that 17-5 game. And yet then the Marlins come home, win 9 straight, and go on a road trip, and were very successful there, 4-2.
Another out of play. T.J. Matthews, he does a lot of housekeeping out there. He never stops. He cleans it rubber off. Always moving.
A little bit like Mark the Bird Fidrich.
Yeah.
When he used to clean off the rubber and all before he throw. Talk to the ball.
Struck him out.
Nasty there.
That was nasty. Fine pitch. 3rd strikeout for Matthews. And the Marlins are down to Jeff Conine.
This is one of those late breakers. It fooled Sheffield. You saw his front side give up on the pitch a little bit. See, you're locked in, and all of a sudden you see this, you're looking fastball, and there, the front part of the hands come through. You can't pull the trigger, and all you can do is take the bat back to the dugout and tip your hat to Mr. Matthews.
Conine has grounded out. He has flied to right. He has flied to center. Jeff 0 for 3. Batting average 247. Outside for a ball. Cleveland has taken the lead at Detroit 4-3 in the 8th inning. One ball, one strike. Minnesota leading Toronto 4-0 in the 8th. KC 5, Texas 0, 5th inning at Kansas City. St. Louis leads 4-2 here. That got the outside corner. Jay Matthews pitching very well in relief of Mike Morgan. 1-2.
We talked about the closer for the Cardinals. This year it's Dennis Eckersley, been held out because of a sore shoulder. TJ Matthews has been awesome, and that's his 4th strikeouts, and that's going to end it for the Marlins.
Matthews was double tough, and Mike Morgan pitched himself a fine game. The final score, Cards 4, Marlins 2. 4-7-0 for the Cards, 2-3-1 for the Marlins. Our player of the game brought to you by Great Western Bank's family of companies. Tom Pagnozzi, the catcher, went 3 for 4, picked up an RBI for the Cardinals. Cardinals are 21-26. The Marlins 24-25. We'll be back right after these messages.
Florida Marlins baseball has been brought to you by Miller's Ice Brewed Ice House. Ice brewed so there's never any watered down taste. By Office Depot, taking care of business for companies of every size, everywhere, every day. By Gatorade Thirst Quencher. For some, recess never ends. Life's a sport. Drink it up. By Great Western Bank's family of companies, now backed by over $44 billion in assets. And by Southwest Airlines. Just plain smart.
Here's our play of the game. We go back to the 7th inning. Jordan and Langford on the base paths. Gaetti with a shot into left. Jordan had been stopped at third. Conine commits the error, and Jordan came on to score and tie it up. And then the Cardinals would go on to get 2 more, and they win it 4-2. We'll be back with some final thoughts right after these messages. Tonight's Miller postgame report has been brought to you by Miller Lite. Press box coming up, scores and highlights. And then, of course, we've got an interesting arena football clash coming up for you as well. It'll be Paul Kennedy and Fran Kersey to give you the call, Orlando and San Jose. And tomorrow we'll be right back here at 7 Eastern Time. Those are the pitchers for Sunday. That's at 1:35. Those are guys that are going to pitch Sunday at 1:35. But how about those pitchers tomorrow? Andy Benes for the Cardinals, and Pat Rapp will go for Florida. Fine job tonight by Mike Morgan, who gets his first win. TJ Matthews retired the final 7 Marlins in order to get the save. The Cardinals win it 4-2. For Gary Carter, for our entire crew here at Joe Robbie Stadium, this is Jay Randolph saying good night from Miami.